Village Survival 3 and 4 just finished, so we're reviewing it. Apparently, I think there's only like 6 episodes in total or something like that, because they said that it's going to end like in the next 2 weeks with like episode 5 and 6. So I think it's just like a short temporary thing that they're trying out or doing.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah. Not so sure about it, but we like it. And the cast that they cast, they're fun, they're hilarious, they're great. They work great together.
Well, they're starting to build like good chemistry. Yeah. So it's unfortunate if it does end. It's unfortunate to see it end because they're building really good chemistry.
Yeah, but if they do continue on with, like, let's say instead of being in that village and they go and do something else, like, we're in support of it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a great show. But for the first 2 episodes, we didn't reveal much, but we do know that Sehyeon found the clue to the $10,000, and it was hidden within Sogi, the dog, the puppy's collar, and he chose to end it where he's gonna take it. And they solved it that he was the one who took the $10,000, so he got caught. And then because he got caught, the $10,000 is still available, so it got carried on to the next week, which is episode 3 and 4. It's a very long filming process, just for like 2 days and 1 night there, so they split it up to 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And so now they have clues to go find where is this $10,000. A double, huh?
Yes, whoever found it at the end of episode 4, the person who found it chose to carry it over, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit later. But by choosing to carry it over, the amount of money doubles.
Yeah. So that's what Sehyeon was given the opportunity to carry it over, which it's gonna double, and he's gonna get, if he wins again for the next episodes, he gets $20,000. But because he got greedy and he didn't want to do that, he wanted to keep in the game. And then once you choose to end the game, the members gets to guess who it is.
Right.
And then majority votes win, then you lose it. But if you don't get the majority vote, you walk away with that $10,000.
Yep.
So that's what happens the first 2 episodes. So for these episodes, they get to pick 2 items now, and the items are shown to everybody. Like, it's like right there in front. There's like 2 sets of it.
The people, because they won, because they were able to guess correctly on episode 2, they guessed correctly that it was Sehyeon. For this next one, other than Sehyeon, everyone else got to get 2 items. Only Sehyeon only got 1. And that was his disadvantage, and that was their advantage for winning the game. So you can see that when you do guess it right, you get a big benefit, because having 2 clues is a huge benefit.
Yeah, get you head starts. Yeah,
and plus they got more
creative.
They got more creative with the clues, and
you have to really work.
Yeah,
put your mind to work.
The first one.
Well, first, the clues, like when I said 2 sets, okay, so there's a total of 8 items.
Right.
But so you remember how in episode 1, there were 8 items and they were picked out secretly. The members, before they went to the village, they were picked out secretly. And then when you win the missions, you attain other people's item. For this one, the items were shown to everybody.
So they made it public.
Yeah, so everybody can see what you pick. So they're doubles. So you don't have to be like trying to win someone else's. You can pick up this item and this item from that pile, and someone can pick up another. So it's like a mix and match for that. So.
And it created like a whole new way of attacking the clues, because by making it where it's public, everybody knows what everybody's getting. You can pick the same things, so it made it where certain people were not going to bug other people about the same clues, except for Sehyeon. Yeah, he bugged everybody because he didn't have anything.
Yeah,
and not just that, but the writers and the producers, they got more clever with how they went with the items and what it's going towards. You know, like how in the first one, it was like the hammer is definitely meant for
crushing
the rock, breaking something.
It's so obvious. The rock was red, like the hammer was red.
Right. So it was obvious, but
the magnifying glass was like, okay, you're supposed to go find something tiny.
Right.
The flashlight, you're supposed to go, look at something.
Right.
So it was very straightforward.
Yeah. This one was a little bit different. They put a little bit more creativity into it. They couldn't go all too crazy about it, but they still they did a little more. Like the whole thing with the slingshot. They didn't just make it where, you were just shooting just anything. You had to shoot a balloon that was in a tree.
Yeah, but that balloon was like visible with the color of the tree.
Right.
So like you still wouldn't see it.
Yeah,
because it was not just hanging there. It was like hitting inside of the tree. So all the branches and leaves was covering it, and like it was only So-young and Song Kang who saw it.
Right.
And the other members did not even see it.
So the items, there's actually 7 items instead of 8. And the 7 items are as follows. The camera headphones,
cell phone,
a smartphone, a spray bottle,
a coin purse.
Yeah, like a coin purse with a coin in there.
One coin in there. The
sculpture, and then
the clipboard. Yeah, so 7 items. And so Jenny was the only one who obtained all 7 items.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through which was attainable through playing the games.
She was like on a roll of like winning. She obtained all 7 items. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got those items, and then with those items they had to go and find out the location of the 10 grand that was around there. So, how like in the first episode, the dog had like kind of like this commanding attention to it. This time they made the location like in a total place where you wouldn't even think it'd be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was actually really clever the way they did it, and how it was discovered. Because some of the clues were like the
makes no sense.
Yeah, like the trampoline one. You had to jump on the trampoline.
The cell phone, the smartphone led to the trampoline,
right.
And the trampoline, jumping on the trampoline, you see a number.
It's like a 715.
But it's supposed to be flipped.
Yeah.
And it's written in Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a word in Korean.
Yeah, it's a word in Korean.
실.
And all those words, all the clues led to the word thread.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the headphones
was with the thread.
Literally right there with it.
No, the headphone led to the MP3 with the thread.
Right, but it was right there with the threads.
In the same basket.
And so they kind of made it more now that if someone by chance had spotted it, they're taking it.
Yeah.
So this was actually really smart in the way they did it, because whereas the first episode it was the dog, and it was in the dog's collar, and if you didn't go play with the dog, you would have never spotted it. You would have never had a chance to see it. And not everybody played with the dog in the first episode. But this one, everyone pretty much is going to have to deal with that MP3 at some point. So we'll go over pretty much the people that they showed that dealt with it.
Yeah. So the first person who actually found the MP3 was Soo-young.
Right.
Because she picked the headphone first.
Right.
And so she was like looking for it, and she randomly sat at that spot. Just by random. Because she was looking for it. I think her suitcase or something right there. And she was like pretending to go through it. But she saw that the MP3 was in the basket of thread. And she picked it up and she listened to it. So she was the first one near it.
Yeah.
And then the second person was...
It was before Do-young. There was another person before Do-young.
Danbi? No, it wasn't Danbi.
I don't think so. I think it was Ki-young.
Oh yeah, it was Ki-young.
Yeah.
And because Ki-young was circling that area,
right.
And then Ki-young was there, and he left, and then Do-young came.
Right.
Because she's all like, Ki-young Oppa he won't leave this place. So she was looking around, and even though she obtained like...
Well, she had the headphones too.
Yeah, she had the headphone too. And so even though like she obtained like more head than she did last time, she was still very clueless.
Right.
And then so she had the headphone, and so she went to it. And then we get obviously Song Kang walking around it, and then we get Jenny.
Right.
So those are like the 4 people.
Yeah. So
that was narrated.
And it's not just that, but like Do-young kept circulating around that area because it was in the living room of one of the rooms, and she just kept coming in and out of it. There was a part in which after all the games were done, they were given about 2 hours to go look. Everyone was going around looking. She spent like an hour and a half just around that spot. Yeah, while everybody else was looking. I mean, that's totally suspicious. It's hard to believe that Soo-young would have found it on that first try, just because the fact that she found the iPod so fast. She found the MP3 player like extremely fast, whereas Do-young was actually like searching through all the stuff. So there's a chance that she found it by coincidence, by chance.
Yeah.
And actually won already.
Yeah, and then like once they figured everything out, they went to bed, and like Ki-young could not sleep.
Yeah, he
was like anxious, and so he built a wall of pillow to block Se-hyung, because now everybody is like suspicious of Se-hyung. Nobody is listening to Se-hyung.
Nobody wants to like, tell him anything because he figured it out.
Se-hyung was like, give me some of your hand, and then they're like, no, leave me alone. Like because of what he did last week. And so Ki-young built a wall of pillow and blanket to block Se-hyung, because Se-hyung was sleeping next to him, and he left the room. And here is the trippy part. So we get to see 5 people come by.
Was it 5? I thought it was just 3.
5 at night, because Danbin figured it out.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she figured it out at the end.
No, she didn't come by. It was just 3.
Also, it's just
it was just Ki-young, Soo-young, and Jenny.
Okay, yeah. At night, because it was Jason sleeps in the living room, and they came and they kept like searching through that basket and undoing the threads.
Yeah.
And then it was Jenny who woke up Jason.
Was that? I thought it was Soo-young who woke him up.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I'm getting all confused because they're all like they're all in bun and like white shirt.
Soo-young woke Jason up and discussed about it. So, I mean that could be a clue that she's the one who found it, but it could also be a clue that she was asking him, did someone else find it before her?
Yeah.
So we don't know. The only thing we do know is that
the person who found it chose to carry it next week.
And when they woke up the next morning, a lot of people were suspicious. Like, if you guys saw the first one, everyone woke up and they were so out of it. They were so tired. And you can clearly tell that just about everybody was extremely tired. This one, you had multiple people that woke up and they were fine. Yeah, like Ki-young woke up and he looked like he didn't sleep.
Jenny looked normal.
Yeah, Jenny looked like she had like been prepared.
Yeah,
Soo-young looked like she was prepared.
Do-young was very calm.
Yeah.
Compared to the first episode, first 2 episodes, she was like outrageous. So-kang was typical of him, of observing. As you guys know, he is an observant.
Yeah, he just observes.
He observes and like he's so quiet, so there's no changes from him. But yeah, like Danbi was just lost. That lady had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
so she's out of the loop. Even for Sang-ho, he was so exhausted and he was kind of like out of the loop too. But like Se-hyung was like bothered because he didn't have any clues. So he's like trying to figure out what's going on or who has it, trying to figure out who has it. But we get it between Ki-young, Jenny, and Soo-young. Those 3 were prepared with their game face on.
I mean, even when they did the game, those 3 were the most active.
Mm-hmm.
going in and out, trying to guess the answers. And only Ki-young of those three actually got it right, and they got to eat. And so it made it even more suspicious, because everyone's like, why is he trying so hard? Because the first week he didn't even care. They're like, the first week he wasn't even worried. So this one is a little tricky, because there's so many clues that kind of points towards a person based off of what your hunch is. And they obviously Jason revealed it, and so because the person chose to carry it over, there's no guessing, and they are going to come back and compete again.
Yeah, and the person who found it is going to be the one hiding it for next week, for this next 2 episodes, and that person is going to be faking to win these clues so they can fake that they're searching for it. But this next person who has it, if they find it, they win. Yeah, they get it. And if nobody finds it, they get it and everything, they win. They take off with 20 grand. Yeah, so like we were all talking like all serious and everything, but seriously, the 2 episode is hilarious. It's just we're more focused on like when we were like watching it. Ahjuxue and I were just kind of like, oh, like what is it?
Yeah, well, the hint was there's like a definitive point to the game.
Yeah, like the hint was like, okay, superior mother, and we're like, oh, but it's a spider.
Yeah,
and then the song was like glass bead. So I was thinking of a light bulb.
It's not just that. It's like the sculpture under the light turning. You can see the shadow of a tooth.
Yeah, so we were like, is it in the bathroom? The light bulb? Like we were like clues and everything. And then like they were just like there's like some hilarious stuff, and they were doing a lot of hilarious things, and the whole cooking. Sang-hyun, they were just gonna make jjang noodle, and freaking Sang-hyun built a bonfire, and one of the VJ butt almost got burned. All these things.
There was a lot of funny things that happened in this episode, in these 2 episodes. We could go into depth with it, but then I think it's gonna spoil it if we go into it, because if you watch it and you don't know what's gonna happen, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
If you watch it and you know what's going to happen, then it kind of loses its funny part, because it's not typical planned out variety stuff. It's natural funny stuff. That's the thing, because if any of you guys have seen variety shows, some stuff like Running Man or just 2 Days and One Night, they have parts and parts in it in which the members know how to work variety. So they do stuff to get laughs, but
there's stuff where it just happens.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that happens in these in Village Survival just happens because not other than Sehyeon, the other people are not. Him and Do-young, the other people are not comedy people.
And it's not just that. Like the members, the 8 members, they're kind of just. They're told by Jae-suk of what they're supposed to do.
Right.
So Jae-suk is the one with the script. While everybody has to go with what he's going to give them.
Right.
So they have no idea what is coming up, and it's only Jae-suk who knows what's going on.
Right. A lot of times you can tell. A lot of times, if they're not the focus of the camera, they're just kind of there and just hanging out. Which you get from a person like Song Kang, who he's there. He's not a comedian, so he doesn't do stuff to try to win camera time. He's there. He reminds me a lot of how Ketty was back when Ketty first started doing Running Man. It's just very natural reaction from him. That's why he just observes. And that's why like for me, like this show, a lot of the variety stuff that happens in the show, it truly is just out of the ordinary, unscripted, just do what comes from their head, and they don't. If you watch it once, you're going to get the good laughs, you're going to get hard laughs, but the more and more you watch it, the less you're probably going to laugh, because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, Ahjuxue, are we going to make a bet to see who it is?
Yeah, I think it's Do-young. I think she found it by chance.
Okay, well, because of the first 2 episodes of Song Kang being observant, dumb luck, and picking Sang-hyun, because Sang-hyun was playing with the dog, I'm gonna go with Mr. Observant Song Kang and saying, because he said it's Suyang Nuna.
Yeah, the part where he was talking about her was very interesting because he said that when they were discussing the stuff, she kept saying weird stuff that kind of just tells you she knows something.
Yeah, and then but yes, when they were given that 2 hours to go look up their clues and everything,
yeah,
Suyang just said that oh, this is too hard, I'm gonna give up.
Yeah, she just walks in front of everybody nonchalantly. It's like, oh, this is too hard. I think I'm just gonna give up and not look for it.
And Song Kang was just like,
yeah.
In his head, he was like, Nuna, you were so competitive last week.
Right.
All of a sudden, she's just gonna give up. That's so not her.
Right.
So he's all like, I think she has it. So, I mean, we're all I just see we're kind of stuck in between where it's it could be Kyung, Doyoung, Jinny, or Suyang, but we're only gonna pick one person each. So I'm gonna pick Suyang. And
I think it's Doyoung.
Doyoung.
I think it's Doyoung because she spent way too much time over there. Everybody else was going in and out of the place, and she just kept going back and forth in and out of the room, and it was like, oh, I'm so stupid. Why does nobody want to, work with me? Come on, help me out. Whereas last week she was like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm looking. So typically when you're doing something one week and the very next week you're doing something else, that is a big sign that you know that you know something that you're not supposed to know. And not only that, when she woke up, she did not care. Even when they started talking about who they thought it was.
She was quiet.
She just quiet. She didn't respond.
Compared to us last week or the week before, she was just like observing and guessing people, listening to everybody's thoughts, opinions, and their guess and everything like that. They're suspicious, and she was all into it. This week she's just
So I think it's her. I think she found it by chance, and she ended the game extremely early, and she just had to pretend like she didn't know anything. That's why she didn't care when. She didn't have worries about going looking for clues. I think she had found it, but eventually she was like, you know what, I should start going out there and pretend like I'm looking for clues. Yeah, because
at the last minute, she took the coin purse.
She started coming out and looking.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I'm like, no. No way.
But yes, we will see what happens in episode 5 and 6 in the next 2 weeks. So, Sally only airs once a week, and it is 2 episodes long, and hopefully this is not the end of it, but we will review again with you guys once it comes to an end for this search of it, and we'll see who wins.
Hopefully. I gotta win this one.
I always win. But we will see you guys next time on the next Village Survival.
Bye-bye.